walkout.
Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Carolina Panthers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. The losers their last time out.
And ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
On first down, Wentz firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On play action, it's Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. M.J. Stewart made the tackle from his corner spot.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll try and get it with Geis. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The numbers for Coleman last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Coleman. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
On 1st and 10, James. And he rifles one incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. James on the screen. This is Coleman. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Coleman now. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. For a lot of people, the MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week, they're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. James. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Here's James operating from the gun. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Though we've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter, here's another good example.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Wentz now on 1st down. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Wentz to throw on second down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by M.J. Stewart. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know.
I don't remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick-6 for the first points of the ballgame.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick-6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Geis with a carry on second down. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 130 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on it.
On the handoff, it's Geis, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. So left side, it's complete. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet.
While making sure that he possesses the football all through the catch.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. Spins past him. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Now a play fake here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. This is Coleman. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid in the
vision to find the holes, and he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. About 3 yards there to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Coleman. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. On third down, it's Coleman, and he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on first and second down, because that leaves them third and short, third and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
Back to throw. James. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to throw. James. And this one's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
Points go by the wayside on that one.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout.
Okay, I put in the wrong headphones.
Here in this second quarter. We'll be
All right, I'm back. Yeah, the other headphones I had didn't work. Like, oh, dang. All right. Yeah, it is. You just realized that?
Go on third down.
Oh.
James now from the gun, he'll throw.
Wow, he caught that. I'm playing my game. Yeah. 7-0 so far.
Find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver.
Second quarter,
Defender can step up
6 minutes left. I got the ball on the 5-yard line. And I just thrown a questionable pass that my tight end actually caught.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
Yeah.
As the offensive play
I'm playing against the Panthers right now.
Sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They get it to him running left. Oh, twisting away.
Oh, come on.
It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. To throw is James. Gonna throw on third and goal. That's complete right around the end.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Oh, damn. My tight end just injured himself.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash,
Probably.
a chip shot here. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip.
Well, my left tackle broke a finger.
With the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that?
Yeah.
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Bruce Sternum will not be able to return. At least it's only a Bruce Sternum.
Carolina getting set to take the field.
Scored the field goal.
2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
It's funny because now they want me to play zone against the Panthers. Cover 6.
They'll hand it out to Geis. Oh, good move. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
I know, that's what I get for listening to Josh last game.
Throwing now is Wentz. And that is incomplete.
He heard footsteps.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Don't touch it. Oh, you caught it. Oh, and there was a flag thrown.
Holding. Receiving team.
Oh, good God.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty
It's
good
only
about
1st and
it.
6.
Only people
That's good.
celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up.
He didn't make his goal.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far. Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment. Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage. On first down, this is Geis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu. I call that play a success. A nice inside run. Sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout.
Is he high?
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here's Wentz to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He'll check it down to Geis. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll bring up a second down. Shotgun now for Wentz. His throw incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes. Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Panthers on again.
3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Wentz to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that. I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own.
Oh, good Lord, he almost dropped the ball.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him. Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. James on 1st and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now James to throw on second down. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with the toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned a ballet school.
Nice.
Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
I don't think.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Back to throw. James. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, partner, they're not content to the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.